Hello, students. Today we are going to study a new topic in grammar, and that is called active and passive voice. Now, I'm going to teach you this active and passive voice with the help of a spooky song.
Active and passive voice is a tremendously terrifying and tricky skill. This dainty ditty may help you in your quest. Active voice shows a subject,
Person, place, or thing.
performing an action.
So, active voice tells us what action is being performed by the subject. You all know there is subject and predicate in the sentence. The subject, there's a predicate, and in the predicate there's an object. So subject, what action the subject is performing is shown by active voice.
Passive voice shows an action happening to the subject.
And passive voice shows what is happening to the subject, an action done by something or somebody else to the subject of the sentence.
Active voice and passive voice. 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 Active voice.
Here are some examples of active voice. Shows the subject performing the action. So in this sentence, first one, look here. Michael lifted his cat. Michael is the subject. Lifted is the verb. His cat is the object. So Michael, what did he do? Lifted his cat. Jessica kidnapped a rat. So Jessica is the subject. What action did she do? Kidnap a rat. London was very loud. London is the name of a place, which is the subject over here. What was happening to London? It was very loud. The jester was ever so proud. So how was the jester feeling? Proud. So jester, subject, was ever so proud. The president combed his hair. So the president is the subject, combed is the action, and his hair is the object. So what did the president do? Comb his hair. The tortoise sat on a chair. So here the tortoise is the subject, sat is the action, on a chair is a object. So let's see more.
Voice shows the subject
Person, place, or thing.
performing an action. Michael lifted his cat. Jessica kidnapped a rat. London was very loud. The jester was ever so proud. The president combed his hair. The tortoise sat on a chair. Active voice and passive voice. 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 Passive voice shows an action happening to the subject.
Now, what does passive voice? You understood active voice? Now, passive voice. Passive voice shows an action that is happening to the subject, which is a person, place, or a thing. So, the coconut was washed by winds. So, the object, coconut, was washed by winds. So, winds did the action of washing the coconut. The ball was thrown to the prince. The ball, object, was thrown to the prince, subject. The cereal was served on the train. The dance was gleefully watched by Jane. The horn was sounded by the car. The duke's eyes were enchanted by a star. So in passive voice, action is happening to the subject. Here in this sentence, the subject is at the end.
Active voice and passive voice. Active voice and passive voice.
video now. Shivam is starting. This is Steve. He met Alice. Steve talked with Alice. This is Alice's boyfriend David. He punched Steve on the face. What did David do? He punched Steve. What happened to Steve? He was punched by me. Did you see the change in the two sentences? He was punched by me, and the sentence before that. So, voice means not the voice that we have, not the voice that you're hearing mine. Voice means quality of a verb that shows whether subject is the doer or receiver of the action. Who has done the action? Subject is the doer or subject is the receiver of the action. So that is called voice. Example, David punched Steve. So here David is the subject, punched is the verb, and Steve is the object. So what voice is this? Active voice. And the subject is the doer of the action. You can write down this sentence. When the subject is the doer of the action, the sentence is in active voice. So if you see this sentence, David is the doer of the action of punching to Steve. So this is active voice. So if I change the subject into me, so I become the doer. Let's see this now. No, it doesn't change. Then it doesn't remain active voice, it becomes passive voice. If you change the subject into you, means if instead of the subject you put yourself, then the action is acted upon you, by me or on me, then it becomes passive voice. Steve was punched by David. Wrote a letter to his mother. So now what do you think, active voice or passive voice? The student is the subject, the action wrote a letter to his mother. So the student is the subject, is doing the action of writing a letter to the object is to his mother. So this is active voice. A letter was written by a student to his mother. So now here the sentence becomes by a student. A letter comes as subject and the object remains the same. So this becomes passive voice, or even you can write mother was written a letter by his son, by her son. So this also becomes passive voice. Examples, or there are various ways in which you can express passive voice. This is not the only way to write passive voice. You can write it in a different way also. Like I said, mother was written a letter by her son. A delicious meal was prepared by Lucy yesterday. And this is passive voice because If it would be Lucy prepared an delicious meal yesterday, so Lucy was the subject and prepared verb, delicious meal would be the object. But here the object has come for the delicious meal was prepared. Also, one very important rule of passive voices, sentences in passive voice are always in past tense. Let's try something difficult. Suzanne saw her friends in the mall last week. Active voice. The 3 big burgers were eaten by Sam this morning. By Sam makes it passive. Let me show you another video for better understanding. Subject was Thomas, object is guitar. What can you do with the guitar? Play the guitar. So sentence would be subject Thomas, action plays, object the guitar. This is Thomas plays guitar. Active voice, what happens? Object, action, subject. In active voice it was subject, action, object. Now it is the reverse, exactly the reverse. Guitar was played by Thomas. Zombies doesn't mean you have to add the word by zombies. By means if you add to your word, if you add to a sentence by me, by Thomas, by whatever, then your sentence becomes passive voice. See now, by zombies sounds incorrect over here. Mary plays the guitar. Active voice. The guitar is played by Mary. Guitar is being played by Mary, or the guitar was played by Mary. That becomes passive. So I think you have understood active and passive voice. I shall see you next time.